Hey guys, welcome back to our urban garden series. We're back in our neighbour Erica's house and we've been busy all morning getting all of the old crops out in the soil ready for the new summer autumn selection that's going to go in. Come over here, let me show you what we've been at. We've all the old stuff here, which there's some cabbages and some Swiss chard which is all going to go out. We got some great new stuff here. We got some basil and some cucumbers, some squash, and all this is going to go in her front yard. She's already in the backyard getting all the soil ready there for a bunch of other stuff that she's going to do. So let's go back and help her out, I guess.
Fluffy. This is what I would call perfect soil right here, even though it doesn't look dark black because it's very dry.
Yeah, it's
very,
really dry.
very
really dry.
balanced. So you'll see there's a lot of organic matter, a little bit of sand. And what you won't see is any clumping together. You don't see any like indestructible clay balls. You'll see lots of.
Just break them up.
Yeah. It's just very, very what you would call full of loam and fluff. And this is what you want your dirt to look like. When you have soil like this, it's because a lot of hard work has gone into it. So I'll show you what I've done to get the soil to be just like this. What you first want to do is take a nice deep shovel to your earth and definitely get it into the ground at least 6 inches, so a full shovel length in. And generally what will happen is if your soil hasn't been tilled or worked, when you pull it up like this, it'll be a big dense clod of dirt, right? So you just want to go ahead and go through your soil and work that over so that you have these big clods everywhere. And once you've done that, a significant amount of aeration's happened. And what you can then do is add your amendments, which helps you balance your soil out. Take your steer manure and make sure there's about 1 inch on the top of your soil and just distribute it evenly. You're going to go ahead and mix that in, along with compost if you want to buy that. And then last but not least, you want to add an organic fertilizer. So now what you have is a healthy soil. You've added your organic fertilizer, and generally I'll put a handful per square foot, like that, and I'll mix it in and I'm ready to go. And then it's good to go. You're good to go. Let's show you what we do when we plant. Now we've chosen a time of day where it's less stress for the plants. So generally what you want to do is do very early in the morning or later in the evening. I prefer later in the evening because it gives the plants a time to adjust through the night. Overnight it's a bit cooler. Stay hydrated and get their bearings. It's really stressful to transplant a plant. And one thing to remember is, of the 10 plants you plant, 10 seedlings, a few might not make it. You never really know why, but you got to count on that when you put some greenery in your garden. Seed plants don't take a lot of room when they grow. Chilies like a little bit of space, so you need to think about that when you're planting, how much space they need around them. I think people over-accommodate for space. I like to cram plants in as much as possible just because here land is so limited. Right here? Do all plants have to be in direct sunlight, or? Yes, they do. They do? Yeah. They're already coming out. And chilies grow two ways. Sometimes they point down. Some others point up. Then we all have that problem. Go ahead. Yes, that's right. And there's chilies for drying and chilies for eating. And what's funny is most chilies, when we buy them in the store, are a certain color, like they're red or green. The funny thing is about when you grow them at home, you can do whatever you want. You can eat them green when they're fresher and less hot. Or you can let them go all the way to red and enjoy them that way. So it gives you a little more flexibility when you're planting at home. So this is just a plain old American eggplant. I'm going to dig myself a nice hole with my beautiful soil that I've just worked for the last 3 hours. And I usually just put an extra little handful of fertilizer in. Just a little kickstart? That's right. If I see that there's a lot of roots and it's root bound, this one isn't in too bad a shape. Breaking up roots is very stressful for a plant, so you want to minimize that. But if the nursery's done a bad job and they've held the plants too long, if they're really root bound and you see that they're brown and crusty, you want to either pull a piece of that off or break it up. In this case, I'm just going to lightly mess with it. Now, this is just so the plant obviously can take. That's what it starts with. Yes, that's right. Just give it a head start. And so what you will find is if you don't do this, your plants may just sit there and never grow. And one day you go to figure it out and you touch them, you pull them out of the ground, and they come out just like this because they haven't taken root. And sometimes that just happens. So you want to just make sure he's nice and comfy in there. And what I like to do is plant about 1 inch above where they've been in the seedling pots. Yeah, because if you think about it, their little seed came out and they went and started growing. Now we can give them a little more structure. And now you push it right down so they're good and firm in there. You want to make sure it's nice and upright. If it isn't, you can kind of wiggle it around. And there we go. And that's one done. That's right. Okay, let me try this one. Sure. Let's have a go. That's right. You want to make a nice hole. Okay, is that deep enough? That's great. So now this is actually quite moist in here, and there's not too many roots, so I'll just break it up ever so slightly. Just so slightly. You want to remove this little piece of plastic so it doesn't land in your garden later.
Is that good?
Yep. You want to get a little handful of the...
Oh yeah, there we go.
Maybe a little of that.
Beautiful.
There you go.
Straight in.
Packed in there, really pack it firm. That's right. So you know that if wind blows or whatever, it won't.
To get force winds we get in
That's right.
California all the time.
Hurricanes.
Get some hurricanes coming through.
Right.
There it is. How pretty that is. Nice. Now these all the ladybug right here.
Yeah.
See her?
She's hungry.
She's tiny.
No, it's there.
She's looking for some food. So there it is, guys. I planted my first plant. So we're going to just have a look at some other stuff that Erica's going to do, and that's it.